generation, and he hasn't won a playoff game. It is weird how that... It's so weird how that works, though. Like, there's so many players that are, like, just so talented, but just can't win. And a lot of it is due to their loyalty. They just don't want to leave. But like I said, that's part of being a leader. You have to be able to lead yourself in the right direction. You can't just, stay where you are and expect to win a ring. Like, when you're in a situation like Damian Lillard's in, you gotta leave. I mean, it's been 9 years and you had like 3 or 4 good years where you actually had a chance. Blew all of those. Now you're just mediocre again. Gotta get out of it. You're not gonna win. If you want to win a championship, you gotta leave. Alright, finally I'm gonna end this podcast on a quarterback versus quarterback competition. Then I'll be signing out. I am off next week, by the way. Yeah, so I'm not going to be on a podcast at all next week. But, I'll be right back in my seat. On, what's the date? July 19th. Next Monday. Alright. Let's get some music going here. And then I will tell you who I think deserves a starting spot over who. Alright. So, I'm going to start with the easiest one. Locke versus Bridgewater. Actually, I'm going to go from least interesting to most interesting. Alright, so I'm going to start off with Locke versus Bridgewater. I think this is easy. I just don't think Drew Lock, I'm going to try to put this in a nice way, is just not a good quarterback. He's not an NFL quarterback to me. He's too casual and all that stuff, Bridgewater, to me, is like kind of an Alex Smith, where he is an NFL quarterback. He's not like a star with a big arm, but he can lead a team. So I think Bridgewater definitely deserves that starting position over Drew Lock. Easy. Alright. Now we're gonna do Jameis Winston versus Taysom Hill. I think this should not be... It really shouldn't, in my opinion, be that big a deal right now. I really don't think. I think it should be Winston easy. Think about this. I've said this before. There were 8 quarterbacks this year that threw for 30 or more touchdowns with 4,000 yards. Those quarterbacks were Mahomes, Rodgers, Allen, Wilson, who else? Watson, Herbert, Cousins was the outlier. And then you had... Who else did that? Was it Lamar? I don't know, but those are 7 quarterbacks. 7 elite quarterbacks. I mean, Cousins is not really an elite quarterback, but he's a good quarterback, And Jameis Winston threw 30 touchdowns and 5,000 yards with the Bucs. And he's not going to throw 30 interceptions in Sean Payton's system. He'll probably reduce it to like 15 and 20, which is probably good enough anyway, I mean, Taysom Hill is not an every down quarterback. That's not who he is. So I think Winston is the clear-cut starter here. Alright. Now we are going to do Garoppolo versus Lance. To me, some people might think this is the most interesting, but to me, I think Garoppolo definitely has it. I think it's just one where, Lance might get a couple reps. Lance is kind of a guy, like, if Garoppolo gets injured again, it's like, we're just going to hand the ball over to Lance. You know, we're just going to let you go somewhere else. You know, but Garoppolo, he's definitely going to be the starter. Week run, you know, because he's a Super Bowl winning quarterback, or appearance quarterback, and it's not like he was Trent Dilfer, you know. He was impactful to the win. It's not like he was like a Ryan Tannehill where he only threw like 7 passes during the playoff win. You know, but he was an effective quarterback who made the Super Bowl. So you got to give Garoppolo a chance here. Alright. And now we're going to go to Cam Newton versus Mac Jones. People are forgetting. I'm not saying Cam Newton's a great quarterback. I'm not saying he's amazing. But he's not a bad quarterback, and he's the best option for the Pats right now. He had COVID last year. That kind of impacted him. He had a 66% completion percentage. You know, his interception rate or percentage was only 2.7. You know, and his quarterback rating, you know, before COVID hit for him, was 90. You know, he was a good quarterback before COVID. People liked what he was doing, but then he got COVID. You know, to me, I just think he's not that bad of a quarterback. And Mac Jones, I think he's just like a backup plan in case Newton gets injured or something. And then if Newton retires or something, or they have to move on from him, they're going to go to Mac Jones. But, you know, I think Newton is the starter. I think that's who they should go with. Finally, in my opinion, the most interesting is Fields versus Dalton. To me, I think Dalton starts week 1. But I think Fields will be the starter at least by week 8, the latest. Just because I think Andy Dalton is just not the answer at all, and, you know, I think he's just going to have a couple, like I said, I think, the first 5 weeks, if they're 2-3, go to Justin Fields. But I think Justin Fields is going to be a pretty good quarterback in the NFL, with the Bears, actually. Alright, good stuff today. I'm off next week, as I said. But Google Podcast, Spotify, Spreaker, or iHeartRadio. This is Dylan Miller on Daily Dose of Dylan. See you July 19th, next Monday.